Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and happy Thursday to you. It's time for prime time or the video for my YouTube channel members, the video buffs, the creative queens, and the creative business builders. A very special welcome to you. My name is Jackie Vandersar-Boot, and today we have a really fun fold card. This is definitely a card for your avid people. It is lots of layers, lots of die cuts, dry embossing, heat embossing, you name it. My inspiration for this card was from Jilly Bling, and here it is. So it's really a beautiful card. And you can see here, it's vellum in the inside. So this whole big long piece is vellum. And then the back of the card, you can see how the detail is done on the back as well. So really pretty card. And yeah, I'll show you some ways that you can maybe simplify it. We are going to add an Amaryllis flower to this card as well. So let's walk you through it. I'm using the Golden Greenery Suite. And this paper, we're going to have the two bells, the small one and the medium one. They are dies, but this has to be fussy cut, and this one has to be fussy cut, and the double bell. So I haven't cut the bell out yet. I was going to do that, but I have cut out this one. I didn't think you wanted to watch me do that, these ones. And then this is a die. These dies, and you do need two of each, they come from the Christmas Greetings bundle. I think that's what it's called. I'll have a look and see. Let me see. I wrote it down on my list. No, I didn't. I'm rambling, people. I'm rambling. So we're just going to cut this out. You can leave a little white edge if you want. That's the nice thing about when you're fussy cutting, you can decide whether you want that white edge or not. I find that if you turn your paper, it is nicer. It makes a nicer cut. Okay, that's a trick, which I'm sure you already know. But I like to say these things because you never know. Don't take for granted that what you know, everyone else knows, because that's not always the case. So I'm just turning it around. It's harder to do on camera, right? So, because I'm kind of doing this away from myself. And then you can always touch it up later to make it a little prettier. There, so there's my bell. You could maybe, if you want to, go even more in between there. That's entirely up to you. So now I did have my big piece of vellum. So yeah, it is sitting on the other table. Let me grab it. I'm going to move all those other pieces out of the way, and we're going to use them in a minute. So it is a lot of pieces. So if you're doing this for a class, it's a lot of preparation ahead of time. So I'm just going to lay this on my phone stand. There we go. All right, so here is the paper trimmer. This piece of vellum is 5 1/4 by 11 3/4. So you'll get 2 out of each piece. Now you want to be careful when you score vellum that you don't score all the way through it. And yeah, so let me just see what the measurements are. We're scoring at 2, 4, 6, and 8. So that's quite simple. So 2, and then one thing to be sure, make sure your lines are straight. Make sure that your edges are right up against here. So 2, 4, and you know what? It's actually pretty tough, this vellum. 6. Just make sure you don't cut. And 8. Because that would be such a shame. And then you can see the lines on here. Okay. So you're going to need a bone folder. Okay, let me find mine. Okay, I have my bone folder, so now I'm going to fold this one over. And it's really stiff, so it doesn't fold the way, it's not as easy as folding cardstock. So make sure that these edges are even. And then we're just going to press that way. Oh, and you know what? This is a little sticky. I really should clean it. And then we're going to fold back. Let's just make sure this is right. It's honestly, it is a little bit trickier than your normal fold. Okay, not gonna lie. So take your time with this. It doesn't as naturally fold on your score lines as cardstock does. So double check where you're scoring. And then once more. And now I'm just going to match that up. I'm not even using the score line perfectly there. See, and now take a look. Just making sure there's no adhesive in it. See? And then we're going to put our panels on this side and on this side. Let me just show you with the actual card. Card is now lost. One sec. Here. So the first panel, see this one, it has a panel behind it so that it looks more opaque. It's not totally, and it also makes it stronger. And then it's going to be the second. So the first panel and the third panel are going to have something underneath of it for stability. This part is going to go on your card. So we've got a basic beige card base that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So this piece just gets centered right on top of this card here, like so. Okay. And why does it look wide to me? You know, I'm used to making cards in European size, but just let me see that this is correct. 4 1/4. Yeah, it is. It is. It just looks wider because I'm with A4 cardstock, it's 4 and an 8, so it just looks strange. Okay, so let's put some adhesive on the back of this. And there's going to be something covering this, so that's why I'm just using this kind of adhesive. Normally on vellum, you wouldn't do this because you can see it, and you don't want to see it. We're going to do this. There. And now we're going to take a piece that is I'm just grabbing my notes. This one is 3 3/4 inches by 5, and then we're going to run it through the snowflake embossing folder. Okay, so that's going to go like so, kind of covering it all up. And you know, I'm not liking how does it go all the way to the edge? I'm going to measure this again. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. I don't know if I didn't cut this correctly. Let me just double check. Well, it's too late now, but I think I'm going to trim this because I don't like my measurements. Sorry, this is becoming a real little... Okay, I have done some measuring, and I've realized that it wasn't supposed to be 5 1/4 by 11 3/4. It's supposed to be 5 1/4 by 12. You don't need to cut off that 1/4 thing. So I will edit the measurements on the YouTube community chat and on my prime time. Okay, so it's 5 1/4 by 12. So if you ever make a mistake, just think it's not the end of the world. This is down now. We're just going to trim this up and no one's going to know the difference. We're just going to take 1/4 of an inch off of this and then we're completely fine. It's not the end of the world. So whenever you make a mistake like that, don't freak out right away. No one knows what it was supposed to be. So now it's just going to be 3 1/2. And yeah. And then you can decide whether you want your snowfall at the top or at the bottom. Okay, however you like. There's no right or wrong. Okay, so we'll just glue that down. So this was a good learning opportunity. You know, when you case a card, either one that you've already done or one from someone else, sometimes people give the measurements wrong, and then you need to adapt. So this covers up the glue, but it also anchors the vellum just beautifully. So you've got a little edge of vellum sticking out, and then we have this. So now we're going to bring in our panels. Let's see, and that's these. Got all these little pieces. So I'm just going to show you. So we've got 2 white ones and 4 of these. I think it's a little over the top, but sometimes that over the top part is really what makes a card special. So we're just going to do it. I'm going to show you the difference, okay? So you can see for yourself whether you want to do that or not. So we've got about 1/8 of an inch of white on all sides of this little panel, and that panel is going to go underneath here. So you see that little white piece, just barely, and then on the other side, see, you have white, but if you put white and then this, you just get that extra layer of beauty. So we're going to do it on both sides. It's, you know, you barely see it, but yet that whole look just is so much richer when you have all those layers. So here we go, and you need 2 of these, so you might as well just build them both at the same time. There's no stamping on these. They just provide some subtle color and texture and stability in the vellum part of your card. And I will give you the measurements in just a second. There's one. So the white pieces are 1 7/8 by 5 1/8, and the basic beige is 1 3/4 by 5. So here, here, and here. So now I'm going to get smart and do them both at the same time. We had someone come into the greenhouse this morning to do a publicity video. So Gerard got to be in a video, and I was able to watch how someone else does it. This man does it as a business. He's a professional, and he does advertising videos for people. And I noticed that he had this really cool little thing, tripod for his phone. And I thought, ooh, I'm going to look into that. But also how he never zooms. He always goes in close up. And yeah, it was really fascinating. I can't wait to see what his reel looks like. I will share it so you guys can see it too. I took a few pictures of him. I might be in the background in the reel, but I was, yeah. Gerard had wanted me to be in it, but the guy clearly didn't want that. And I think maybe, I don't know if it's ageism. They don't want old ladies, 57-year-old women in their videos. Okay, so for this one, we are going to be putting adhesive on. And that's just going to go right in here on the first one and then on the third one, okay? But to make it so that it's that you don't get those lines of glue, we're going to use the silicone mat, craft sheet, and a dauber. You could also, I could have used adhesive sheets. That might have been an idea as well. So I have my little puddle of glue, flatten it out a little bit. And then we just want this on one side, okay? And I'm just gonna dab it. And you know, you're not gonna really see it, hopefully. And this will just look a little bit like the snowflake. It's not a solid clear vellum, it's a printed vellum. So I think if I did this card again, I would probably use an adhesive sheet just for quicker. Let's put this in. It's going to go. So I'm going to, let me move this out of the way. Let's move that out of the way. So here I have my vellum folds. I'm going to open it up and it's going to go, and this is just sponged on, so you want to be careful. It's not going to have much wiggle room for moving it around. There. And then we're going to put it on the third one, so in here. So this one we will sponge again. I'm going to need a little more glue, my little puddle. puddle is not big enough anymore. Add a little bit more. There. And then dab, dab, dab. Patience. This takes patience. You could probably smear it too. Look at me. Oh, this is great. Okay, so that's another way. Instead of daubing, because I had a little bit more glue in my puddle, smearing it seemed to work really well. Okay, perfect. Just keep that glue dauber in a little baggie, and then it won't dry out and you can use it again. So remember, I have it on the first fold, and then I want to put it on the third fold. So I'm just doing it like so. Make sure the bottom pieces are good. And then down we go. See, and now we have a nice sturdy. Now the last time I forgot, we are also going to finish off the inside. And the inside is just 4 inches by 5 1/4. And we're going to take the greenery and we're going to stamp. You know what? We're going to do that before I forget, because last time I completely forgot, and you want to do that first. Before, you don't want to glue that white piece in. So here's the stamp set, and we're going to use this big solid one, I think. Could use 2, so maybe I'll grab both of them. 1 and 2. Yeah, we'll use both. I've just had an inspiration. Okay. So then that means we're also going to use 2 shades of green. For the thick one, we're going to use Old Olive, and for the skinny one, we're going to use Mossy Meadow. And we'll see how it goes. So this is Old Olive. And my Old Olive, I think, is a little bit dark, to tell you the honest truth. So I'm also going to stamp it again, stamped off. And I'm going to do that again here, stamped off. Okay, and then we're going to take the Mossy Meadow, the Mossy Meadow and the finer branch. Now my Mossy Meadow was one of those weird ones that has gotten some kind of a grossness on it. So I'm pressing a little harder, and I want to just go over that and just see. See, it's not much darker than my stamped off Old Olive. So I'm glad I did a lighter one, or you wouldn't even have been able to see it. There. And then we're going to just put this one in between like so too. So we've got some nice greenery here. Sorry. So now we have some nice bows of green, boughs, however you want to say it. I really need to tell myself I need to buy a new Mossy Meadow ink pad. I should have done that when they were on sale, but I keep forgetting. I don't use Mossy Meadow as often as I use Old Olive. Okay, now we're going to get the saying. It's time for some gold embossing. So we're going to do all the gold embossing at the same time. And whenever you're going to do some embossing, you need your embossing buddy. The embossing buddy stops, it prevents your ink sticking to, or your embossing powder sticking to where it shouldn't be. So I'm just going to go over this whole thing here. And then we're going to emboss on the white as well for our saying. We might as well do all our embossing at once. There. Put that back. It's actually just cornstarch in a little knit pouch, really. Now let's take a look. Where did I put my card? On the floor. So let's take a peek. Yeah, so on this saying in the inside, we've got our Merry Christmas that's embossed in gold. Okay. And then in the inside, now when I did this, I had to do it after it was in the card already. And it doesn't even look too bad. Okay. So we're going to take our skinny branch, this one. I should clean it. And we're going to stamp that in Versamark and gold emboss a few evergreen bows in between, just to tie in that whole gold and greenery theme. And the Merry Christmas is a little tricky because it's actually 2 sayings. And look, I have a brand new set that I haven't used yet. So when you have that, you also want to do something to those stamps. So that I'm just looking. Goodness. somewhere underneath my pile of things, oh yeah, I found it, is a white eraser. So just take it off and you can do all your stamps at the same time. So let's see. I'm doing more than I thought I would be doing. So just go like this over top of all your stamps. It gets rid of that layer of, there's a little bit of a film from photopolymer from the processing, from the manufacturing process. Okay, so that should do. Let's hope so. I'm going to say do the saying first. Inside. So just lay it down. And then I'm going to get it. These thin blocks, I do prefer the more expensive thick blocks that Stampin' Up! Has, because there's a groove in there for you to put your fingers. It's really important. Okay, so we have our leaf, we have our saying, and now Merry Christmas is 2 words. So let's lay it here. The Christmas is going to go right near the bottom. And then the Merry is going to go up here. I'm going to stand up to make sure it's straight. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm just going to pick it up like so. Now we're good to go. So now we're going to do it all, people, all at once. Oh my goodness. It's been going the whole time. I'm so sorry. You guys got to watch me check my cards, see what I was doing. Oh, people, you know what? Sometimes, some days you just know that things are not going to go smoothly. And today is one of those days. So, yeah, sorry you got to watch me in La La Land there. I thought I'd hit pause. Okay, so we're going to adhere both white panels to our basic beige ones. Make sure you put it on the back, not on the front. And then we'll go from there. So this is for the inside, the saying. And what you're trying to do here is that edge, the edge on the left and on the top and the bottom are about the same, okay? Then we're going to take this beautiful branch. It's going to go kind of around like so. I'm just going to look and see. Guess what I did, I think I cut out the wrong one. I was supposed to cut out the skinny one, and I cut out the fat one. Ha! Oh my gosh. So I can do one of two things. Well, you know what? I'm going to cut out the skinny one. I have to do a little more fussy cutting, guys. But before I do that, let's do this here. Then I will hit the pause button. So here we go. There. Well, you know what? We can just do this piece now. We're going to have, okay, I want to make the Amaryllis. So the Amaryllis is going to go, I'm just switching gears, people. This is the branch for the Amaryllis, so I don't need it to be that long. See, I want to kind of make it to go underneath the greenery. Have the Amaryllis going down, not with the Merry Christmas though. Here. And this one's going to go like so. And then the bell. See, so it covers up the hole, which is what we wanted. And then the Amaryllis, if I can pick it up, it's going to go underneath of there. See, first you build your bouquet to see what you want. And then you make your decision. Don't glue anything down yet. There. And then the Amaryllis going underneath. And then I have to decide, do I want it to be a full one or this one? And I am thinking, for what I see, you would do, if the Amaryllis is hanging down, you would want it to look like this. Okay? So we might put an extra one on. It's sliding away on me, like so. And it's still not in the picture, but at least I know what I'm doing now. And I'm going to make a second one of those, so we have two. And then I'm going to fussy cut, and then we'll put it all together, okay? Okay, you are about to learn Jackie trick number 2. So I thought when this didn't work that I had cut the wrong branch out. I did not cut the wrong branch out. I stamped my Mary too high up. So it only looks like a tiny little difference. And yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this one right over top. And then it's going to go like so. And you see now it works. Yes. So this is going to be a heavy card. I could just cut out another one of those too, but I just, you know, enough is enough. Yeah. And you know, those days when these kinds of things happen, it always coincides with the day then there's an extra 2 or 3 hot flashes, you know, just enough to scramble your brain. And then, yeah, it's kind of like a snowball effect. There. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm just going to put, let me just look at this. You don't want glue everywhere because you don't want it to, let's just have a look. It's going to go at the bottom. You know what we're going to do? We are going to first affix this. This is the problem. I made this card a long time ago. I'm going to put this right here on the bottom, like so. So that it's about a little bit of snowflake sticking out. So just on half of this is going to have adhesive. Okay? You don't want it to stick where it's not supposed to go. There we go. So this is going in the inside on that beautiful panel that we made. There. And then now I can put some adhesive on here, just on the side that's going to be on the panel. So just here. And if I need more, I can always, I'm gonna trim off this there. And strategically, so you can see the Mary, nice. And then we're gonna tuck a bell, one of our smaller bells. Maybe it can be the longer bell. Let's have a look. Now, another trick, Jackie trick number 3, when the die cuts unevenly, so this side doesn't have a white edge and this side does, it must have moved slightly, we're just going to even it up with some scissors. And then it won't look as awkward or as poorly die cut. There. Now we're going to put a little adhesive on that, cover up that hole from the tag, and then we're good to go. So come on, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then we'll finish off with some pearls in a minute. And now we're going to close this. There. This looks like it moved a little bit. I'm thinking it might be too late to change it. Yeah, that's stuck. That's okay. Now this one is going to go up here and just above this one. See? And it's going to go in a little bit so that they're staggered. So this one's going to go right almost to the edge of that. Okay. So half. There. Oh, you can't even see because I've zoomed in. Let's zoom out a little bit. Still can't see. Look, I put adhesive on half. And now we're going to put that right to the edge here. And then we're going to build our seam. And remember, we're going to put the amaryllis down first. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive here. I'm going to put that kind of like so. There. And then the greenery. There. That's going to cover that up. And then the bell. Here. Oh, no. First this one. See, it's very lush. Super lush card. So we're going to add a little bit in here. And then a little bit right there we go. This one's getting a little more adhesive. And put it down here. There. A little glue on hands. Now and we can take the bow off or we can leave it on. I'm just going to play with this for a minute. There's the bow. We're going to add a bow. You know what? I'm leaving it on. You can cut it off if you like. On my original card, I cut it off. This card was inspired by Jilly Bling. If you look up Jilly Bling on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, you will find her. There. And then, you know what? Oh, no, I shouldn't do the bow yet. Now we're going to do our little amaryllis. And they go like so. And I'm going to take some liberties and cut this one off. There. And I might cut off the other one too. We'll see. Now, this one, the glue goes on the back. I should have maybe done this first. It goes on here. That green piece has to be over top of the leaf, of the flower. And I'm going to put a little bit on the tip here too so that we've got a double reinforcement of glue. There, okay. So we have a little glue on each end, and I'm just going to lay it there, and then one more here, there, and here. And then we'll see if we want a third one or not. I don't want to overdo it. I might cut that other one off too. Note to self, do not start a video with a 3/4 empty liquid adhesive. Okay. We should count the number of bloopers in this video and we'll see if we have a record. Okay. There, press that. And I think that we're going to, I'm just thinking, that's a lot of Amaryllis. I think that one's too much. So, yeah, we could put a bud on it as well over here, but I'm not going to. You know what we're going to do? Creative license. There we go. And then we could put this down. I kind of like it hanging though. If you see it like this, it looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, now we just have to add the pearls. And the pearls will really add a lot. And then it opens up. So this has been an epic, epic video. I'm going to trim that up a little bit more, that branch, because you can see that I gave it a little bit of a haircut. There, now it's good. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to put a dimensional under each of those. And then it's good to go. And then we're going to find some pretty pearls. Just going to see if I have the dimensional that's going to fit. Yeah, that'll work. 1, 2, take the backing off. 1 and 2. There. Oh, yeah, there we go. We needed another blooper. We got it. It's probably safer this way because it was just such a small area that it was attached to. That looks really nice. Okay, let me, oh yeah, and the bow. So we're going to get a glue dot. And then I knew there was something missing. And you guys are probably, Jackie, the bow, the bow. There. I'm going to do 2 glue dots just in case. There. That really does add a nice little sparkle, the bow. It looks beautiful. I think I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to the Amaryllises. And then we're going to find some pearls. Let me find my pearls. Alrighty. Pearls to the rescue. Here. They really do add a nice touch. Try to use as much bling as you can this Christmas so people feel the love. I'm trying to get this thing to flip upside down, then I can get it to stick to my pokey tool. You know what? Oh yeah, it did. Good. And then another one. I really shouldn't do this on camera either. They like to kind of skitter around. And then maybe a big one. And a little one. Here. So that's 5 on the front, and then we're going to open it up. Actually, we don't even have to open it up. And 1 here. And then I'm going to look and see, and then let's see. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you guys, I'm just not being patient with picking up my pearls. There. Put that one there, and then one in the inside. Here. Okay. I think it looks like just absolutely beautiful. I hope that you enjoyed. Look at that gorgeous vellum. And then the other side. It is over the top, isn't it? Okay, Well, I hope you enjoyed this epic card making session. 40 minutes of videoing, not including me pausing it, saying a few bad words under my breath, or maybe very loudly, and a lot of fussy cutting and die cutting and embossing and all the good things. So, if you're an avid card maker, you will be in card making heaven for the next day. I would love to hear your stories, whether your card turned out well, whether you're going to make a whole whack load of them, or you're only going to make one and display it proudly on your own mantle. Anyway, have a super day and thank you so much for joining me. Bye.